How meaningful is this relief for consumers broadly, Patrick, after months of pressure at the pump? What do you think?
Yeah, it's pretty sizable. The national average peaked in May at $4.57 a gallon. It's down now 80 cents a gallon. We've heard a lot from the president on the pace of decline, and actually looking at the decline, it's actually a faster decline than what we saw in 2022 after the national average hit $5. Only a 5% faster decline, but still gas prices continuing to fall. Gas Buddy data now showing the national average below the $3.80 mark nationally. Some states, 38 states now with gas prices below $4 a gallon, just in time for July 4. Now, to put it into context, the national average still about 65 cents above last year. So Americans still shelling out more this year. But hey, with all the anticipation with gas prices reaching $4.57, to see 38 states back below the $4 gallon mark just in time for July 4 is certainly terrific news.
Do you think gas prices are lower enough, Patrick, is it lower enough to impact travel demand and behavior this holiday weekend? Like, do you think more people will hit the road because of it?
Well, we all have very rich holiday traditions, myself included, which was why I'm here in Michigan myself. High gas prices generally don't hold people back on July 4. Now, whether they'll travel further distances or put the boat in the water, those types of small demand really can be impacted by high prices. But July 4, we get 3 good summer holidays a year: Memorial Day, July 4, and Labor Day. And this falling on a Saturday this year, probably not much demand destruction, even with gas prices going up. With them coming down, you might see people using more gasoline, running the boat longer over the holiday weekend.
Where do gas prices, bottom line, Patrick, where do you think they head from here? Like, put a number on it. Are we going to get back to $3 in the near to intermediate term?
Boy, I'd love to say that's absolutely a possibility, but if it's a reality, well, the Strait of Hormuz will have to continue to be open. And one wild card here has been refineries. With the heat dome amongst much of the country in the Midwest and the Northeast, refineries could actually be impacted by this ultra high temperatures that are happening, and that could impact gas prices down the road. Whether or not we go lower or continue to see falling prices, really contingent on developments between the U.S. and Iran. We've seen a lot of back and forth. I'm going to be hopeful that we'll continue to sort this out. And maybe if everything goes well, gas prices could be in the low to mid $3 range by the time Labor Day rolls around.
Patrick, what did you make of President Trump's comments, by the way? You saw this, of course, saying gasoline retailers must get prices down immediately, warned there would be big problems if they don't. Start targeting around the $2.50 a gallon number, the president says. What did you make of that, Patrick?
Yeah, I love it because this is something a lot of Americans grapple with. They look at the price of oil and they say, well, the last time oil was that, look at 15 years ago, the price of oil was 70 and we had a much, much lower national average. But that doesn't take into comparison gasoline taxes, which have gone up in virtually every state in the last couple of decades. It doesn't take into consideration refineries, which, I mentioned the heat wave right now, refinery production. You can have all the oil in the world, but if you don't have enough refineries, that's going to keep prices higher. And that's exactly what's happened right now. The Strait of Hormuz, you can't get refined products through there. One wild card that not many are mentioning, the Ukraine attacks on Russian refineries is keeping refined product prices elevated. So the president would love to see this magic ratio return, but that's probably not going to happen anytime soon. Keep in mind, it's the summer. We're on more expensive summer blends of gasoline, and demand is higher as well. So, I'd love to put to bed that this magical ratio of oil should be X and gasoline should be Y. Well, keep in mind that doesn't take into consideration what's happening at the nation's refineries.
Let's talk regional differences, Patrick. Which state has the highest prices at the pump right now? Is it still my native state of California?
Well, briefly, Hawaii has actually taken that over from California. It's still neck and neck, but looking at the latest Gas Buddy data, it's very close between Hawaii and California. You see that map there, the West Coast, the most pain at the pump. Illinois has some of the nation's highest taxes, and then the Northeast. These are areas where they're all a bit short of refining capacity. The West Coast and the Northeast. Illinois, well, they have a lot of refineries, but they have really high gasoline taxes. And Michigan, of course, fed by those refineries in Illinois. But, I'm going to knock on wood that this huge heat wave doesn't have a negative impact on refineries, because that is what I mentioned is really holding up gas prices from seeing a bigger decline. I think after this interview, I'm going to go hide in this gas station's beer cave and cool back off myself.
That sounds like a good afternoon plan, my friend. Hey, listen, we got the highest. I'm just curious, where would I find the cheapest gas right now?
Well, right now, surprisingly, and for the next week, Indiana, the nation's lowest prices, and that's because they've suspended their excise and use tax. So Indiana finding several stations below $3. You can find sub $3 gasoline on and off in areas like Texas and Oklahoma as well. So use the Gas Buddy app. You can find those sub $3 prices, but generally the Gulf Coast, the nation's mecca for refining and oil production, is where you'll find the cheapest July 4 prices.